what he might be doing on Sunday?
I'm sure we did. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank because I haven't slept.
If I say that he may have done something with his children, would that refresh
yes.
your memory?
He went to a birthday party.
Okay. Do you know whose house he was going to?
Nope, but I know that they had a water balloon fight.
Okay. He had one, or his children?
His children did.
Okay.
He said he used to get really into it. He said he got like really interactive with his kids. He's like, some of the adults don't really spend a lot of time playing with the kids, but I
went to the museum on what day? Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday.
Okay.
That's right. So this one was like, was I hanging out with you? God.
Very memorable event, huh?
Me and him and my stepmother and my sister went to the museum, and that's right, the Denver Museum of Nature and Science, and they went to brunch prior to that, and I skipped brunch, and I went to the gym.
You shouldn't have. It was good.
I had to do core day. That was the last time I worked out, actually.
That's what we did Sunday, okay.
Yeah, so core day, and then we went to the museum, and then
when did he tell you about the water balloon fight on Sunday evening during your conversation on the phone?
I think so.
Okay. So you don't
so.
know whose house he went to on Sunday?
No.
But you knew it was for a child's birthday?
Yeah, and he had told me about that in advance really, so I don't know if it was Saturday that he had told me that he was going to go to that birthday, or like Friday. I just remember he was like, I got to go to this birthday party with my kids.
Any other conversation that makes sense?
I mean, honestly, at this point, I'm really tired, so I know there are certain things that I need to tell you guys that we'll get to as these days progress.
Yep.
But in all honesty, if it doesn't stand out to me now,
Today?
It probably wasn't relevant.
What about that 9 o'clock thing you were telling me on Monday?
Oh, what he told me? Oh yeah, well we'll get there. We're still on Sunday.
So we're on Sunday.
We're gonna get to. This is gonna be a long.
We're gonna get there to Monday. We're getting there. So Sunday night or Sunday during the day, you had your own personal stuff going on with your family. You never see him on Sunday. Is that accurate?
No, I didn't see him. What did I do the rest of the day? I came home. I think I might have just chilled at my house. I don't remember. I think I cleaned my house. I don't know. I didn't see him, though.
Okay. And
yeah, Saturday was the last time I saw him.
Okay. Sunday, you're at home. You talk to him. We know you have a conversation in the late evening hours, and then you go to sleep on Sunday night. When's the next time you talk with Chris?
Probably Monday morning.
Do you know what time?
No, I mean, so we used to like randomly text each other like throughout the day, but we both get really busy. So some days like I don't hear a lot from him, and some days I don't text him until like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I'm just like busy. And I remember I didn't hear a lot from him that day, which was like, that's not out of the normal for either one of us during the day. But at one point, I do remember he like texted me and he's like, oh, it's been a really busy day. And then like said some other stuff, which I'm sure you will find in my text. What he said, I don't know. It wasn't obviously anything that was like alerting to me. But that's what I'm saying. Like at this point, like I remember really key things, but if it's like a conversation that I'm like, I don't remember exactly what was discussed, it's because it was probably just bullshit. Like just talking to each other. Yeah.
Small talk stuff.
Yeah. But I remember he was busy that day, and we didn't talk that much. And then I clocked out at 3 is what my time card says. That's what I was showing Mark the other day. And I got home to go meet my buddy. One of my good friends was coming over to my house. And he actually has a key to my house, so he was actually there when I got there. And
who's that?
My friend Jim. And so Jim came over. And I got home, he was there, he had like just walked in the door, and I remember like briefly after he got there, I checked my texts. I mean, briefly after I met up with Jim, I like glanced at my texts, and Chris said something about like, my family's not home, or like my wife and kids aren't home, like something to that effect. And I told Mark, because he asked me for a time, and I don't have an exact time, but I remember it was like right after I walked in.
That was a text message, though.
Yeah, it's in a text, and it's like, It was like briefly after I walked in the door, so based off how long it takes me to get home from work and when I clocked out, it was probably about 3:45 p.m. Texts me and tells me that. And like, he knows when I get off of work too, so he doesn't always bug me if I'm busy. So I don't know what's up with that, but that's when he sends that to me. And
so you're saying that he would have known that you would have had your phone available to you and not been at work when he sent you that text message?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
So looking back at it, you think it was purposefully sent at that time?
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm just asking your feeling on that.
Yes, and then he said, call me when you can. And I was
There was
like,
no other communication between you and him that morning, on Monday morning?
well, there was, but it was like random, like...
But nothing about this event?
No.
About, like, my wife's missing, or...
No.
Anything?
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
And you knew he wasn't coming to the office because he had told you that Sunday night?
Yeah, and then he goes, and so, like, they're only in the office for the morning. Like,
Right.
some days it's longer than others, but I would say by a maximum of 7:30 every single morning, they're all gone. And they don't come back unless they have, like, a meeting or something that they have to attend. So, like, not seeing him for the rest of the day is not, like, an unnormal thing. Like, but like I'm saying, like, we don't really... The only reason we interact was kind of, like, by an off-chance thing. Like, I don't work with him. So he, yeah, we talked like randomly throughout the day, but it was really sporadic, and he seemed pretty busy, so we didn't talk too much. Like I said, didn't put too much thought into it. It happens all the time. Waited till about 3:45, then sent that text to me, and yes, he does know that I will be home at that point. Or getting home. Like,
Did you give Mark Jim's information?
No, I would really not like to involve him in this. He does not know about this. He was not, like, he doesn't know any of this is occurring.
Okay.
Like, I was literally
so
trying to...
he knows, certainly through the media, that something's occurred.
Yeah, he's,
with
like,
Chris.
out of town. He's probably has no
Okay.
idea. He doesn't know
Okay.
who Chris is. Like, he's not, I do not know.
So he's just a friend of yours.
Yes.
Um,
He does
that
not need to be
was coming
dragged
to
into
your
this.
apartment and doesn't know anything about Chris. Does he know anything about
No,
Chris? Okay.
nothing. Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
we've known Jim for
Yeah.
years and years.
You're not dating him or anything like that?
No,
It's just a
he's
friend.
like one of my very good friends. Like, my dad knows him. He's a great guy. He works out of state a lot, so when he's in town, we hang out. But when he's in town and he's off of work, to save time, so I give him a key to my house, one, because I trust him and he's one of my best friends, and two, because sometimes he will just meet me there, because I'll be like, hey, I'm getting off of work, and then if I get stuck in traffic or something, he ends up like sitting outside of my apartment waiting for me to get off of work. So I'm like, here's a key, and like my dog loves him and stuff. So no, he's not
So he's just
involved with
family
it.
friend.
Yes, I don't even
The only
want
reason
him
I asked,
dragged into this.
and I'm not really concerned about your location. I think we already have your cell phone records. At some point, did Mark ask you to supply? Did they ask for consent to get cell phone records? That'll probably be done by warrant. If we
Isn't
want
that what you just did?
Nope. What I'm talking about is your movement
Oh.
by GPS or by cell phone tower to show where you were. Obviously, and I don't want to cause you concern, we want to know where you were that day too. You're dating a man who did some egregious stuff, and we want to show that you were never near him that day. Period.
I mean, you guys
So-
can track my
No,
stuff.
yeah, I mean that was something we will have to get a warrant for, anyways. I'm just saying, if we asked for it, would you have any objections to that?
You can have it.
So.
If I'm a pretty boring person,
well,
I don't
it sounds
go
like
too
you
many
just went
places.
to work that day, and then you came home, and you were there at 3:45.
Yeah, like give or
Okay.
take like 5
Yeah,
minutes.
right.
But yeah, so 3:45, I meet Jim there. Yeah, I would
And
totally.
so Jim is understand from an investigative point, he could be a person who could say, yeah, I was there at 3:45. He doesn't know Chris. He doesn't know anything. He could say with one phone call, yeah, she came in at 3:45, done.
Totally.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't have to ask anything more than, hi, Chris, my name's Kevin, or Jim, and I'm not saying you have to give it to Jim.
Just leave Jim
But
alone.
if
Jim does
at
not need to
some
be wrapped
point-
up in this.
If at some point I needed Jim's info to, let's say we couldn't find your phone records, would you
You
tell
can
me who
have
Jim
them.
was?
I will give them to you.
Would you tell me who Jim was if I
If
couldn't
you
get
had to. I don't really want to
Right.
involve him in this. That is not
Perfect.
fair to him. That's not, no. If I do not have to do that.
That's fine.
Yeah, so anyways, Chris was like, call me.
And this is the 3:45 text.
Yeah, he sent me like a few. I think there was 3 of them, and I don't remember what the other one said. But something about like, yeah, my family's gone, or I don't remember verbatim, but call me when you can, or call me when you have a chance, something to that effect. And so when he told me call me, I was like kind of alerted, where I was like, okay, what's going on, you know? But first when he told me like his family was like not home, that didn't really seem odd to me that his family wasn't home. It was really vague. I'm like, okay, like, are they at the grocery store? Like, elaborate. And so, you know, and then, but he says, call me like it's like an emergency, but then just says that they're not there. And so I'm like really like floored by that. Well, not like floored, but just kind of like, he says, call me, so I'm concerned. And then he's really vague, so I'm like, maybe he just wants to talk to me. I don't know. I think it took me a little while to like really process the severity of the situation, just because this is not something that you expect to see every day. And the way that he talked to me made me believe that this is not what was going on at all.
Okay, so you make a phone call to him and you guys have a conversation.
I did. I stepped outside.
This is 3:45.
Ish. I mean, well, like, I think I actually interacted with Jim for, like, probably a good 15 or 20 minutes. I mean, he's my guest. He's in my house. So I don't think I called him right away. But, like, I mean, I'm trying to balance the fact that I have my friend here, and then Chris is saying that something needs to be addressed. But to me, it didn't sound like an emergency. I mean, it's all the time. Like, people aren't home right now. You know, so it just... It wasn't like, oh my God, I have to take this call, it's an emergency. No. I mean, it was the way he said it. And I was like, okay. So I remember hanging out with Jim for a while, and then I stepped outside, and I made a call, like, out on my back patio. And I called him. He didn't answer the phone. And then he texted me back. Oh, no. Did he answer the phone? I don't remember. I think he missed my call, and then he called me back. Or he just answered. Either way, it was a very short talk to him where he was just like, I have to go. The cops are here. And I don't remember if he said that on the phone or over text. I'm so tired.
That's fine. You don't
But
need
either way, like,
it's
the cops.
The context.
Yeah, I mean, you guys will figure it out. The cops are here. And I'm just like, all right. And then I remember we were we were texting, but I was like hanging out with my company, so it wasn't like a non-stop text. It was just kind of like I would check my phone every once in a while, and we would communicate with each other. And he was just saying like they weren't there, and that her friend Nikki was there, and that her friend Nikki had called the cops. And I'm like, why would this girl call the cops? And like, I honestly do not remember the order of operations on all of this, but I'm pretty sure the majority of our conversation that night until my friend Jim left the house, which was probably pretty late, I don't even know what time, like 9 or 10, was all via text. So you should have this via text. Like, I don't think we started talking again on the phone until, like, after my company left. And he was like, I don't know, he just started, like, giving me details about stuff, and I don't remember what order, but he was saying, like, Nikki was really upset, and that the cops were there, and that they were, like, searching the house, and I was just like, what? You know, like, what? Why? And he was telling me that, they had, like, had a disagreement or something like that, and then, he told me, like, she was gonna go to a friend's house, and I was like, okay, well, maybe she left. You know, maybe she just, like, went to her friends. And then I think I don't remember, but I think he was the one that told me that her cell phone and her purse were still there. I think he told me that.
He told you her cell phone and purse were still there?
I think he did. I don't remember.
What's the significance of that in your mind at that time?
At that point, I thought this woman was really trying to get out of this house. That's what I thought, because he said that they'd had a disagreement, and I was just like, okay, well, I mean, I leave my cell phone at home.
He said disagreement. Did he tell you what it was about, or?
Not at that point. So, again, like, you guys are going to have to check these texts, because it's all, like, my brain feels like a mashed potato right now. But I remember him saying that, and I'm just thinking, like, well, maybe she was in a rush, you know? Like, maybe she was just like, I'm going to my friends. I'm leaving my cell phone here because I don't want you calling me. I don't want anyone else calling me. I mean, there are days where, like, when I'm outside of work, I will just shut my phone off. I just do it, and it's, like, my way of getting peace. So to me, that, I mean, like, it was weird that it wasn't even that weird to me that she left her phone just because I leave my phone, but it was weird to me that she left her purse. But knowing the fact that that girl was, like, always on her phone, then, yeah, I guess it is kind of odd.
Well, she lived on her phone, I think,
yeah.
pretty much, is my understanding of her and a phone. So, I don't know if you knew that.
I did.
Until prior to the media stuff, or just from Chris.
I did.
So, did that strike you as odd? But you're thinking maybe she just left.
I just thought she needed to, like, get away from the situation. I mean, that didn't seem that awkward to me, that a couple that is going through separation would be like, I need to leave. I just need some space. Like, it didn't even, like, process. It was like, okay, like, give her some space, you know? And on that note, too, when he was we're going to jump back for just a sec because I had a thought. So when he was coming back from North Carolina, that was when he officially told me we're going to get a divorce and we're going to put the house up for sale. Like, he told me they were separating and they were, like, going to put the house up for sale, but they hadn't done it yet. And then when he got back from North Carolina, that was when he was like, it was like a sealed deal.
Okay.
And the reason that is of significance is because at some point over the weekend, I don't remember when, he told me that they were putting the house up. I don't know if it was they were putting it up on Monday, like the day they went missing, or if it was that they were calling the realtor to verify some stuff so they could put it up that week. Like, I don't quite remember. I just remember, like, the house was supposed to be, like, on the market, like, that week.
Did he name her realtor ever?
Yeah, he did, and I don't remember her name. It was a female. And I don't remember her name, like, at all. I was trying to think of that for you guys not too long ago.
Is that a company? You got the company name?
No, he never gave me that. He, like, gave me her name, and it was the same name twice. He gave it to me once when he was in North Carolina, and then once the other time. Because I remember asking, I was like, who's that? Because he's like, I'm going to have her call so-and-so today and make sure everything's still good to go. I was like, who's that? He's like, the realtor. I was like, oh. Or not today, but, like,
if it ever comes to your mind, just...
Yeah, I doubt it. That was such a... I will try. I don't remember who it was.
It's fine. It's not that critical. That person may come forward to us anyways, perhaps. So don't worry about it. Let's go back to the phone calls on Monday afternoon.
Yeah, so he's, like, texting me a lot of this information, and I'm starting to kind of freak out. And it's not like I'm freaked out like, oh, she got murdered. I mean... That is not what I thought. It's like, okay, like, the way I looked at this, like, apparently his wife had been gone since midday, was when she got, like, reported missing. I didn't know that. Like, the way I looked at this, it was, I got home from work just now. I mean, he didn't say that, but I interpreted, I just got home from work. And my family is not here. So when we're texting for, like, a few hours, like, the cop thing was kind of weird. But he's like, Nikki insisted they call the cops. Nikki insisted they call the cops. And I'm like, okay, you know, and I'm just trying to figure out, well, like, what role does this woman play in this situation? Like, is she...
Did you know who she was?
No, I don't know any of his people. Like, this has been pretty, like, tight wrap for a while, which is probably a really good thing. But anyways, I didn't know, like, who she was. And so, like, I started asking him. I was like, well, where do you think your wife is at? And he's like, I think she'll be back tonight. Like, I think she's, like, out with somebody. And he was telling me that they had a disagreement. So I was like, well, I remember telling him, I was like, you should make sure that you have wait a minute. No. So, all that happened, and then it starts getting kind of laid out, and I remember we talked for text for a while, and part of this conversation, and then it moved to the phone, and I remember telling him, because he was like, I think she'll just be back tomorrow. I think she's just going to be gone for the night, like, with a friend, you know? And,
Did
like,
he name the friend?
No, he didn't. And, like, because I don't think, he made it sound like he didn't know, like, what friend's house she would be at. And I remember talking to him, and I was like, well, maybe it's that Nikki girl. And he's like, well, Nikki called the cops, so why would she be at Nikki's house? I'm like, I don't know, kind of throws her off the trail of where she's at, you know? And it's like, it sounds kind of weird, but it's like, he really made this sound like this woman was just like upset, left the house, and that was probably what he thought happened to her. And so I didn't really put too much, like...
Did he tell you the kids were missing as well?
Yes, I knew. I mean, which made sense to me, because I was like, well, if you were at work all day... I mean, he didn't tell me he got home early. He didn't say that to me. So, I mean, it made sense. Like, if she's going to leave, they should probably go with her. And so, I don't know. I feel like I wish I should have, like, processed all of this earlier, but I just don't feel like when one of my friends is gone, I'm like, oh my God.
Is it just me, or does it seem like someone is trying to interfere with us hearing more about Nicole Kessinger's involvement in this case? Why is the video audio recording being canceled on us at a certain point? You know, I just put some lotion on my face while I was sort of watching this and listening to this again. But again, it gets cut off, and it's just like someone is trying to prevent us from hearing what the hell has gone on here. So I wish I had some more information. I wish I had some, you know, bigger disclosure for you guys here, but it's very obvious that someone else, a higher tech whatever, is involved in keeping her story quiet, and we can't seem to hear all of it. So I'm going to continue to try for you guys, and I'm sorry that that keeps happening. So I will definitely keep you posted. Is there any questions while I'm still here, or what? Otherwise, I think we're just going to cease this video upload. Oh no, you know what I so wanted to show you guys was the cards. I forgot about that almost. Really interesting. Of course the pictures aren't like the proper size, right? So I'm gonna turn this around for you. All right, I know this is upside down. It just says wishing you. Here is the side version of it. I'll try to put this first nice and straight. So, Nikki, a year of stuff you love to do and a brand new dreams to make come true. One that brings you smiles and laughter and fills your heart with love long after, a million moments day by day that simply take your breath away. Have a happy birthday, as wonderful as you are. And here is the note from Chris Watts. This sums you up. Big things will happen this year. Dreams will come true. That smile, that stare, that laugh, that giggle gets me every time. You are truly an amazing, inspirational, and electric woman that takes my breath away. Every time I see you, you are wonderful. Don't ever stop being you. Happy birthday. So that was that card. Here's another one. What does that say? Let's see if we can't turn this around this way a little bit. A kiss, a touch, a smile, a squeeze, a look, a laugh, a tickle, a tease. And this one has all kinds of little notes. When I'm around you, I can feel peace in the atmosphere. I can't resist the feel. You put me on another level. You keep my engine roaring when you push on the pedal. You bring me right back down to earth. Interesting. Those are all Chris Watts' sayings to the cards. So I wanted you guys to get a view of that. And I wish I had some more, because it looks as if someone keeps trying to interrupt our uploading and our listening to the entire interview process with Nicole Kessinger. So I will continue with that soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, a thumbs up would be great. We'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.